Hey guys, it's Eric. I'm making a Grainfather brew today. It's going to be really good. I'm making it based on a clone of Fuller's London Pride, which is a great beer. If you've never had it before, you should really try to find it. If you can, it's kind of hard to find here in the States, but it's a really tasty beer. It's really similar to like an ESB style. Today we're making this one. It's a variation on it. It's my variation on it. I call it the pub ale. It's really tasty. I consistently make this beer every single time, and I want to show you guys how to make a consistent beer with the Grainfather instead of just making a single Grainfather brew that is really nice and tasty. Here's the deal though. I'm going to kind of show you some step-by-steps of this. It's going to be really fun, and I'm going to show you some of my tips and tricks to try to get this as consistent as possible, including some really nice tips on mashing, some really nice tips on actually milling your grain, and some really nice tips on just kind of some of the stuff I do for chilling. So we'll talk about it and check this out.
Alright, so to start, I have my own mill, which really helps. I find that for the most part, most of the shops around where I am don't have as fine a crush as I do, which really does help me out in terms of my efficiency. One thing you'll notice when I put my grain basket in is I end up actually using the smaller pipework. Because I am using my own mill, I find that for the most part, I don't need the full pipework because the amount of grain that I'm putting in is actually pretty small. So one thing that I do put in that I just showed is the 5.2 stabilizer. I use it. Some people don't love it. I like it. It gets me to pretty much around the right pH for me. And obviously try to get as many dough balls out as possible and go nuts with it. I always like to get my top filter a little wet before I put it in. Helps it slide in there nicely. Usually I push just right until I'm seeing liquid on the entire top filter there. This is an old tea filter that I pulled out of a teapot that actually broke. I decided to just use this. David Heath, another guy that is a Grainfather user out there, prefers to use a kitchen sink strainer. This works just as well. I do all my beers with a two-step mash. This one is starting at 149. That'll sit for 60 minutes, and then I'm going to run a mash out at 167 that you can see there for 10 minutes. Brew dog. Brew cat.
We're also going to be smoking today. This is going to be a lot of fun. We did this yesterday with some smoked salmon, and today we're doing a whole chicken. Whole chicken. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be tasty. We're using alder chips and our super cool Little Chief. It's a front loader. It's all electric. I'm excited. I'm excited to try this with a full chicken.
All right, back at it. One of the nice things that I actually do is I prop up my Grainfather sparge water heater. Just helps it kind of give a little bit more gravity. You'll also notice that I've got a tip on the end that actually disperses the water pretty evenly. Something that I like to do as well is I actually like to put the lid back on and then put a pot holder over that lid, which helps retain heat a little bit better to get to boil. You can see here I'm at 206 because I'm actually at a high elevation, so I don't get up to 212. Here I'm showing you a little bit of how to actually skip to a stage if you're not at a 206. Sometimes I don't let mine get to a full 206 where it actually starts the boil on its own. It's just kind of my way of doing it. I do use a hop strainer, helps out a lot. I still get a lot of hop debris, don't be fooled. It just basically tries to keep it out. If you're using whole cone hops especially, this is really great for that. I always like to get started cleaning while I'm in the middle of a boil. It actually reduces your brew day quite a bit, so that the only thing you're actually doing is cleaning the brew vessel itself. I do a really brief whirlpool at the end of all my boils. And you can see here I just let the hops drain out. One of the nice things that I've got is I've actually plumbed my kitchen sink out. You'll see in just a second. I've made it so that I can actually do all this inside and not have to worry about going back out. There it is right there. Just pull it, open it up. Catalyst sanitizing right now. That's a thermometer that I use. It's great. Gives you the ability to actually see the temperature coming out. The other thing I'm doing is pulling up the lid so that it's not going to build up any pressure in there. The numbers are spot on today.
Give us an update on the smoker.
Alright, so we are, what, 2.5 hours into this bird so far. We're sitting at a 96 degrees internal temperature. Let's take another 2.5, maybe 3 hours left on it. Smelling pretty good. It's looking pretty tasty.
This is the third round of alder chips that we've used, right?
Yep.
Cool.
This is our brewing buddy. Say hi, Bruce.
Brewing cat. That's Bruce.
Bruce.
Brewce. That's not actually how to spell his name, but that's kind of funny. Alright, so today we're going to actually use some of the Imperial Pub. It's the second generation yeast that we're going to actually be using for it. I shook it up a little bit to try and get all the yeast back into suspension so that we can do it this way. I'm not putting this directly under this. We're using a catalyst today. This is how I actually propagated this yeast. But we're not going to put it under to actually put it onto the yeast. We're going to actually put it on top. Here we go. Because this is actually a thing. Everyone should know this. Do this. Okay? It just makes it easier. Alright, we're back again. We're finishing off this amazing bird. You guys need to see this. Check this out. Look at that.
I mean, there's me.
Look at that. Look at that freaking bird. Oh man.
So as a part of this DIY day, as you know, we did the smoking of the bird.
Yeah.
It was in the smoker for 3.5 hours before it kind of stalled out at like 104 degrees, so we decided to just finish it off in the oven. Last we checked, perfect 167 degrees, so we know we're in the right place. I'm just gonna let it rest and get the rest of dinner put to bed. And drink more homebrew.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone.